Hey guys, today's shave is with a Boar 1305 from Semogue. You can see it's banded, but that's just dye put in. Boar bristles don't happen that way naturally. Had it soaking for maybe an hour. So we should have good, nice, soft tips. Minimum for me, 3 minutes for a boar gets, because boar bristles do absorb water. So you need to give them time to do that. The others really don't. And we're going with a theme for today, slightly. The Bandit, Dr. Jons, and I think Beaver Woodwright, who's now known as Black Ship Grooming, I think did a collab on this soap. And I like the performance a lot. The scent has got some really neat parts that I like in it. Leather, some other bits like that. Look in the video description if you want to see more. But what jumped out to me the first time I used it, this is the second time now, was the herbs and spices, and they put me off a little bit. So I put this guy down, put it aside. I just like looking at the label because I'm an 70s and 80s kid, and so this was what I grew up with. So pretty cool. I enjoy it. And so I hope this soap becomes something that I can enjoy as well. Otherwise, I'll just have to pass it on to somebody who does. All right, we've got, and because that was a black themed tin cover, and of course his Trans Am was black, and we're going to use a Black Beauty, and we're going to put the Nacet in it, my old blade. So now is the time to see how the Nacet works with the Gillette adjustables, because the Slim, Fat Boy, and I think the Slim and the Black Beauties might have the same head design, while the Fat Boy is slightly different. So we'll just see. The markings have to go toward the handle, so let me show them to you now. The X is almost always gone, the two legs of the X that were right there. And so a month or 3 ago, I'm really glad I put in those 3 dots to be kind of a continuative, as I make up a word, signature. Now earlier today, I soaked this in some hydrogen peroxide for a little while to hopefully sanitize it, because if the edge, which is still very sharp, if it gathers up in some little microscopic pores, any bacteria, I don't want that to affect me during the shave. And so what I did was I took a knife with an unfortunately not quite sharp enough point. So if I hold this in the right way, above the A, you should see the scratchings of something that kind of says N1. And I hope you're able to see that. And I thought maybe the peroxide might wear away at the Sharpie markings there. Anyway, those are the troubles you have to have when you use a blade so many times, right? I'm just curious as to how far this will go. I do not plan on taking another Nacet even past 100, much less, all the way up to 235. Today is 235, so that's what we're going to do. And also another kind of signature is when I dropped it the other day, you can see kind of the deformation on the blade and the slight crinkle right there near the corner. So that's kind of a signature of sorts. So we put it in with the markings face down, and I set it on a 4, because I think that might be a good starting point. I may need to go more aggressive, we'll see. And then here's the little counting area for the Nacet, 234. All right, so I've shown you the soap and the brush, and I think we are ready to get going. I do have hard water here, and it's room temperature. So let's go ahead and load. Let's do a 40-second load. Probably end up with a lot of lather. But lately I've been doing more passes than usual, and so I need more lather. So it's been a few months since I used this soap, but it should come back nicely. All right. 45 right there. Okay, so I'm going to go to 30 on the next minute. Well, you know what? Maybe I'll go to 20 on the next minute, and so I'll be 35. Yeah, because this is coming up kind of nicely. Let's just do 20 on the next minute, which will be a 35-second load. Let's try that. I bet that'll be okay. Medium pressure, causing the tips to splay just a little bit. 8 more seconds. I can already smell that spice and herbs. And there we go. I don't know whether it's clove or allspice or, whatever. It's got a nice appearance to it right off the bat. Nice and creamy looking. I'm going to rinse off the side of the tub here. All right, Bandit, let's see how you do. I know the performance is going to be good. See if I can take the scent, or who knows. Sometimes there are a few scents that you will get used to. Oh, look, you don't need to be looking at my forehead nearly as much as the lather bowl, so that'll help. I'm really liking this Dollar Tree bowl. This is a Santa Fe blue. Santa Fe is the name of the collection from Norfolk something or other. At the Dollar Tree, though, the label looks like that. Without adding any more water right away, and you may figure out a shortcut. Maybe if you use a certain soap a lot, you can try adding water right away and go at it and see if that saves you a little bit of time if you want to do that. My pattern is, and it pretty much works well for just about all soaps, is to work it for just a little bit, just using the water that was in the brush when we shook the water out, when the water came out of the soak. The brush came out of the soak. And so then once everything seems kind of consistent, I'll start adding in. And I often find that adding 1 teaspoon at a time, and that's why I use the syringe, because it adds a teaspoon, which is a good amount of water, or it adds 3 drops just as easily. So that's why I like it. It's easy to add whatever amount you want. This bowl, there's another Dollar Tree bowl that I've used for a good while, and it's flatter on the bottom. It's flatter, and so I don't use that as much anymore. That if the bottom of the bowl is flat, it means your brush has to travel farther before it starts to hit a speed bump, if you will, or the curve on the other side of the bowl, because that curve is going to cause the flexing of the bristles. And that flexing of the bristles is what's going to cause the soap to be turned into lather, the soap and water. So you don't have to necessarily have something textured on the bottom of the bowl, like gluing pennies on there, or quarters, or whatever, or even like glass rocks is what I've done before, and the glue didn't last. And so next time I do it, I'm going to have to scratch up the bottom of the glass pebble and maybe the bottom of the bowl to make it, last. But with this bowl, I might not even do that. The only problem with this bowl is that the brush doesn't stay up on the side. It tends to sink down kind of like that and end up with the handle in the lather. And the lather's getting better and better. Still that spiciness to it. And I do usually put in 2 teaspoons kind of quickly. I used to put it in at a slower rate, but most of the time when I lather 30 seconds or more, that's enough soap that needs 2 teaspoons at the very least. If your brush has a different makeup of your lather in it, if it's wetter, if it's richer, if you, at the end of your shave, you squeeze the lather out of your brush and you wish you had shaved with that lather instead of what you used, then you probably need to do more mixing, because you didn't get a consistent mix. Yeah, unfortunately, all those other notes that I like are quite at the back of the bus compared to this, the peppery scent. So if you like pepper, this is a scent for you. Pepper, or cloves, or whatever it is. Well, we've got 3 teaspoons in there. That might, I bet that's going to be good. Lather's looking pretty good. Let's take a look at it as we raise it above. Nice elasticity, haha, there we go. There we go, that's good. For this base, I think that might be just right. So let me get some water on my face. I have a day and a half of growth, and so it might tug more than usual to cut this down, but that'll most likely be just for the first pass. I did take a shower before the shave, and so I do have a nice clean face. The oils that are normally on my massively oily skin have been beaten back temporarily. I do have a little bit of a rash going on down here. I think it got a little bigger because of the shave. I'm sorry, because of the shower, warm shower I just did, but I think it's drying out a little bit. So I think maybe we're on the trail ends of it. Brush feels nice and soft. These are the premium grade bristles from Semogue, one of the higher grades that they have. So that's why the 1305 is going to be a very soft, comfortable brush for you. It splays easily. If you like a lot of backbone, this is not going to be the brush for you. But if you like medium backbone, it might be, or slightly less, then it might be a good one for you. And with this one, the tips are being quite slow to split a lot, even though it was comfortable within 2 or 3 uses. The tips here are taking a while to split. So that means it's going to get even softer as the time goes by. There we go. All right. All right, now, forgot that this was going to be a shaggy shave. When you're marathoning blades like this, it's best to shave every day, in my experience. With the grain, you know, just light tugging actually. I'm not going to do a lot of buffing, going over one area multiple times. I may do short strokes, but I'm going to try to move along and not linger. I think that usually provides for a little bit more comfort later on, because somehow the second pass is going to feel a lot better. Won't tug nearly like this. And this is actually not very much. This is a really good razor for this blade. Hopefully it's going to be efficient as well. The Wolfman OC that I tried recently was very comfortable, but it took me 5 passes to take care of business. There's that pesky hair that's been bothering my eyeball the whole time. Yeah, I can feel a lot of stubble on my face, and so I have not removed nearly as much as I would if it were a younger blade, but that's okay. You know what I might do? Now that 4 feels that good, let's bump it up to 5. I've heard you do not, with these vintage Gillette adjustables, you don't have to relieve the pressure on the barn doors when you adjust them. But it just makes me feel better to do that. But I've heard from a pretty reliable source, somebody who maintains them and all that kind of stuff, that you don't have to do that, but I just like to. So a little partial rinse there. And this brush, very comfortable, not super dense. If you want density, this isn't really the place for you. Don't have to have a thick, bushy layer of cream. All right, so setting number 5. Let's see how that does. And I've got so much stubble left. Let's just do another with the grain pass. Pretty comfy, actually. And also, if you don't buff like I usually do, you can get through your passes quicker. And so if you do have to do 4 passes or something like that, it's just pretty fast. And I'm rinsing in cold water, or as cool as my tap water can get it, because since I just took a shower, it's kind of feeling a little stuffy and warm in here. All right, so that's 2 passes. This may just be a razor that's a little too, let's bump it up. That's a little too mild, or not as quite a good match for this blade. Let's go ahead and graduate to the cross grain passes now. So this is the 3rd pass, and I still can feel some stubble, and so, you know, you can tell it's an older blade. All right. Cross grain. Cross grain for some people may be different than others. A little public service announcement there. Some people, their hair actually grows sideways on their face. So for them, a cross grain pass is going to be up and down. Maintaining a very light hold on the razor. As you can see, I can hold kind of near the center of the razor, or mainly in one point. I don't spread my grip around like this, because that doesn't let the head move very much. When the grip is more at a one balance point, then it's very easy for the razor to have very little leverage on the skin, and you want that, because that keeps a light touch. And that may be one of my secrets to making blades last so long. Maybe also my secrets to the excessive comfort that I enjoy. All right. So we bumped up the aggression and didn't really feel like it. So it looks like maybe I should have started with a 6 or something like that. All right, I'm going to rinse. So that's 3 passes, and I believe since that 6 shave was still quite comfortable. Water out of the goatee. I've been forgetting that today. I should have started at a higher setting. So let's try. Let's do again. We'll do another cross grain. Pass number 4 here. Yeah, man, the pepper is just, you do smell some of the other things, but they're taking such a back seat to the pepper. I was hoping that my nose would get used to it, or sometimes a second you wear away that first pass, the top of the soap and the first shave, and then you start to smell something just a little different. I feel nice. I feel like I have good glide with this lather right now, so I believe I hit it right on the head. I did go back to the puck for about 5 swirls. Not very many swirls, just a little bit. Because I had, I believe my goatee had thinned out my lather on maybe the second pass, and so I added a little bit of soap to the brush. All right. And you can see I'm moving along kind of fast, even though that was my 4th pass, I believe. All right, real quick rinse. That's because I'm not buffing. I'm not repeating certain areas. All right, so I do believe 5 passes, and my face felt a lot better. Most of the stubble's gone. Obviously, I didn't start with an aggressive enough setting. And almost all my soap is gone too. So looks like for this shave, that 35 seconds of loading was about perfect. If I needed to get another pass by squeezing the brush or something like that, I believe I could. And to be honest, I don't even think I need to do this pass. I think that last one got it nicely. But why not? I'm here. Excellent glide on the face. If your lather never drips like that off of your razor, I would encourage you to add more water. Because I like to ride the line. Normally I do not like for lather to drip like that. But if every once in a while it does, then I feel like I'm riding the line in a really nice place where it's still really wet, but it's still kind of creamy. And when it's that way, it doesn't drip like that. But if I get it just a little more wet than that, it depends on the soap too, a little more wet than that, then it can drip. And so if you never drip, hydrate your lathers a little bit more and see if you like it. I'm not saying you will, but you might. You might like a more hydrated leather. That's a good looking shave right there. Sure, took 5, but that was my mistake. I should have started with a more aggressive setting. Nice soft Boar brush. Not super comfortable yet. I mean, very nice. Got a massagey feel to it. Doesn't really quite yet have a super soft tips kind of feel to it. So I'm going to rinse this completely and clean out my bowl as well. 3 teaspoons of water was used today with a 35-second load. All right, well, this is what this guy looks like after a good towel stropping and a good rinsing out, and then on the towel. So he's opening up, and he still has quite a good vast majority of tips, haven't split at all. So that's going to get really soft later on. Yeah, man, if I just had a few soaps, I might keep the Bandit, because memories, all that stuff. But I got a ton of soaps. They're cheap. And most importantly, you know what? I don't want to keep this around and then just rarely use it when somebody else could really enjoy it that might like the scent. The other scents are there, but the spiciness, like I've been saying, is just a little too strong for me. Kind of sends the other ones heading back out of the limelight. Dr. Jons is a great vegan soap maker, and so I'm certain this one is vegan. Well, it's got stearic acid, but I don't think that is a tallow type thing. Shea butter is nice, mango seed butter, avocado oil, castor oil. All those things are nice for your skin and stuff. Okay. That's it. Shave 235 is in the books, and that was comfortable. Wow. And yeah, I've got a close shave. I need to rinse just to be sure. And I hope this rash goes away. Wow. I are impressed. All right, so this is my plug now for the Lather Games. In June, we will start, and it's a function of the Reddit wet shaving subreddit. So if you go to reddit.com and then do /r/wet shaving, then you'll find it. It doesn't have any underscores or anything like that, wet shaving. And if you want to become a member and you are interested in playing the Lather Games, then we'd love to have you. It is a casual game, And so if you're able to participate on some of the theme days and some and not some, big deal. You can be a part. There are threads and conversations for each day where you're able to talk about the subject matter of the day. And even funny stuff, or some people just do junk posts where they making fun of people or just ranting and that kind of thing. It just to kind of in a where everybody just laughs, you know. And if that's not your thing, I understand, but I'll be participating in that this coming June. And the whole idea behind it is each day has its own theme. There'll also be little goals that you can have there. If you can shave with certain vendors throughout the month, then you'll get points for that. If you might choose you could choose very basic posts where you're just kind of clocking in. You log that you used a soap for that theme, and so you get that point. But you're not going to get any style points really. But that's okay. You might still participate in the actual threads, talking with people about the soaps that they used. Like for instance, if you find one day, maybe there is a day for vetiver scents, and you finally got around to trying one. Maybe you ordered a sample from Maggard of a vetiver scent from some maker. Then that day, the whole thread for that day's post is going to contain a lot of people's ideas about vetiver, and so you can learn a good bit. And if it turns out you like that scent, then that's a great time to review the posts and see what everybody else chose on that day, to see maybe some ways you might like to explore that scent too. Even colognes that people are using, aftershave products, are going to be discussed too. And so it's a good opportunity to learn as well as just have fun and play around. So anyway, come June, you'll definitely see me. I like to give you a little bit of prep beforehand, because if you do want to participate in a big way, then you'll need to gather up a soap strategy. You'll need to look at the calendar and see which themes are there, so that then you can start gathering up some samples. Now, there are a lot of guys that will send you a penny sample, about a quarter teaspoon of product, throw it in an envelope, send it through the snail mail, and then you'll have enough for a shave. And sometimes that's all it takes. And so then you don't have to own 30 different soaps in 30 different scents. You can get samples from folks. Hey guys, sorry, but I use my phone to record, and so when the texts come in, it vibrates, and that's the sound that you hear. Sorry. Fortunately, when I shave at night, it's less of a concern. But today, it's kind of in the middle of the day. It's Saturday. I'm going to use an alcohol splash from Stubble Buster. Tangerine, sequoia, and sage are the main notes. There are more to it. Game here is one of the first releases that they did, and their pattern was to release kind of traditional scents, or just really good scents, and just make versions of them that were kind of inspired by some existing colognes that were out there. Like, what were some of them? And I chose an alcohol splash because I wanted to put some alcohol on this rash. See if we can dry it out, right? All right. It's got kind of a nice orangey scent that I thought would counter the pepper pretty well. I think it will. And a little bit of woodiness too. I guess that's the sequoia. So it does have menthol, so that's going to sting for a little bit, but it'll be all right. Okay, so very happy with the shave today in terms of the comfort of the razor. Sure, it took 5 passes, but we've already discussed that. I'll do less last time. What did I finish up on? Did I finish up on 7 or 6? 6. So I have kept the blade in that razor, and I'm going to use that again tomorrow. Next time we'll start with 6. Maybe we require fewer passes. That'd be good to know. But the comfort for this razor was really nice, and I'm really happy with the resulting shave. Yeah, nice. Not a whole lot of length in the tips here. Just, slightly visible tips. Just the ends of them, I'm really happy with that. Very good. Yeah, the game's working out. I may think that most of the soaps from Stubble Buster are too weak to use, almost unscented to me, but not so with the aftershave splashes. They are nicely scented, and you get to enjoy them for a good while. The Stubble Buster soaps, though, with their mild scent, are specially suited for new shavers, and they're inexpensive too. New shavers and who may or may not have issues with their skin, because the lower strength was purposefully done so that the power of the scented oils or any other ingredients is not going to be too much for somebody's skin, and so it's not going to put them off in terms of inviting them into wet shaving. But if you do like stronger scents, then you'll enjoy the performance of the Stubble Buster soaps, because it's really, really good. Very slick. But you won't enjoy the scents quite as much because they just won't be there for you. But there we go. I think it has a purpose, Stubble Buster soaps, and it's good for that purpose. All right. I think that's it, folks. Man, I cannot wait for this 1305 to get more tips split. I just know it's going to be a different level of comfort. Right now, it's kind of a massagey kind of comfort, and it's very bendy, and so I don't believe it's too floppy for me, at least. It stirs up a nice lather. It feels good on the face, but I'm waiting for that comfort with those split tips, right? All right, well, there we go. I sure hope there was something here in this video that's going to help you out. This is Sugar Daddy Shaves. You take care. Good night.